Live. Oh, hang on.
Network error.
Let's try.
Yeah.
We're live. Yay! It does work. Yay! You know, Wi-Fi on top of the mountain. Who'd have ever imagined this? You know, when we were here a couple of years ago, we couldn't get a signal or anything. We're having to wait till we get into the eating place, the Alpenhaus, or up to the Idalp, before we're sending pictures and stuff over. But today, you know, it's great. You can actually do these things from the sculpture itself, and I think it brings an extra bit of body really to what we're doing here, because it's kind of like in the moment. You're not necessarily having to put too much behind it, are we?
No, it's just a nice thing to be able to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so Martin's asked that I tell you folks exactly how this all happened and how it all began.
Yeah, because it's such a really rich and wonderful story, and I think for many people they might be wondering, you know, for snow sculpting, how the hell do you get into a sport like that, especially being British, which we're not really known as being a nation full of grand snow piles or anything, or great skiing and things, and I know everyone complains about the snow as soon as you get 2 flakes in London, but the reality is, as a nation, we're not that fantastic for snow, I would say.
No, but you're right. So, I mean, I never worked with the snow before, and I needed to be shown how to work with the snow. So I used to come here and snowboard and ski, and I stayed in a small hotel, and we were allowed to go to the big hotel to have a meal or a drink on an evening. And one evening I went into the hotel, it was a Monday evening, and I saw a big old guy, about 70, and he was sat by the bar, and he ordered a full bottle of whiskey. And I thought, wow, there's something wrong. I better go over and ask this guy if he's okay. It's not a good idea for a 70-year-old to be drinking a full bottle of whiskey. And I went over to him and I said, is there a problem? Is something wrong? And he said, yes, mais oui, because he was French-Canadian. His name was Chameleon Bellinger. And he says, mais oui, Engelbert, who cannot sing, is ill in bed, and I cannot complete my sculpture. And at that point, I wanted to say, this is your lucky day, my son. I happen to be a trained figurative sculptor, which I am. And I just said, would you like some help? And he said, you would give up your holiday and help me? I said, I'd love to. I'd love to know how to use the snow and work with the snow. And he nearly fell off his bar stool, and he put the whiskey back. Well, we had to talk together. I had a website at the time with some sculpture on it that I'd done, and he looked at that later on in the week. But during the week we made the Smurf house, and I was in charge of Papa Smurf, who was the sculptor. We did the Smurf house, and then I had to make the Smurfs that went inside through the Smurf window. And I learnt how to sand the snow down in the morning to take the scrapes out,